बिहारी। जय राधा माधव जय कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी। जय गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गिरिवरधारी। जय गिरिवरधारी। जय यशोदानंदन जय ब्रजधनरंजन। जय यशोदानंदन जय ब्रजधनरंजन। जय जय यमुनातीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी। जय जय यमुनातीरवनचारी जय कुंज बिहारी। जय यमुना हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radha Vrindavan Chandra Radha Vrindavan Chandra Shri Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Jaya Gauranita Shri Shri Gauranita. Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. इस्कॉन बीबीटी संस्थापकाचार्य हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस एसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद ग्रेस श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय. नामाचार्य श्रील हरिदास ठाकुर की जय. प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ राधा कुंड श्याम कुंड गिरिराज गोवर्धन की जय. ब्रज भूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय. मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय. श्री क्षेत्र पुरुषोत्तम धाम की जय. पंढरीपुर धाम की जय. गंगामय की जय. यमुनामय की जय. भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय. गोलोकेर प्रेमदन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय. बृहद मृदंगम श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. We welcome to every devotees to today's Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam from Canto 5, Chapter 26, entitled The Hellish Planets. And today's verse is 28. So this is in prose. And actually for this translation there is no purport, so we can continue with the 29th verse also. Yastu ihava अनृतं वदति साक्ष्ये द्रव्यविनिमये दाने वा कथञ्चित् स वै प्रेत्या नरके विचित्मत्य अधः शिरा निरवकशे योजना सतोच्छ्रायाद् गिरिमूर्ध्नः सम्पात्यते यरा जलम् इव स्थलम् अस्मपृष्ठम् अवभासते तदवैच्छिद्मत् तिलसो विशीर्यमान शरीरो न म्रियमानः पुनरारोपितो निपतति. Translation: A person who in this life bears false witness to or lies while transacting business or giving charity is severely punished after death by the agents of Yamaraj. Such a sinful man is taken to the top of a mountain 800 miles high and thrown headfirst into the hell known as Avichitmat. This hell has no shelter and is made of strong stone resembling the waves of water. There is no water there. However, and thus it is called as Avichimat, waterless. Although the sinful man is repeatedly thrown from the mountain and his body broken into tiny pieces, he still does not die, but continuously suffers chastisement. Text number 29. Yastu iha vai vipro rajanyo vaishyo va somapitas tat kalathram va suram व्रतस्थौ पिबति प्रमादतस् तेषां निरयं नीतानां उरसि पदाक्रम्यास्ये वह्निनः द्रवमानं कार्ष्णायसं निषिञ्चति. What word meaning? Yaha, anyone who, to, but, iha, in this life, why, indeed, vipraha, a learned brahmana, rajanyaha, a kshatriya, vaishyaha, a vaishya, va, or somapitaha, drink somarasa, tat, his, kalatram, wife, va, or suram, liquor, vratastaha, being situated in a vow, api, certainly, va, or pibhati, drinks, pramadataha, out of illusion, tesham, of all of them, nirayam, to hell, nitanam, being brought, urasi, on the chest, padha, with foot, akramya, stepping, asye, in the mouth, vahnina, by fire, dravamanam, melted, karshnayasam, iron, nishinchanti, they pour into. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation: any Brahmana or Brahmana's wife who drinks liquor is taken by the agents of Yamaraj to the hell known as Ayahapana. This hell is also awaits any Kshatriya, Vaishya or a person under a vow who in illusion drinks Somarasa. In Ayahapana, the agents of Yamaraj stands on their chest and pour hot melted iron into their mouths. Purport: one should not be a Brahmana in the name only and engages in all kinds of sinful activities, especially drinking liquor. Brahmanas, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas must behave according to the principles of their order. If they fall down to the level of Shudras who are accustomed to drink liquor, they will be punished as described herein. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chaksharon Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 29th verse translation once again. Any Brahmana or Brahmana's wife who drinks liquor is taken by the agents of the Yamaraj to the hell known as Ayahapana. This hell also waits any Kshatriya, Vaishya or a person under a vow who in illusion drinks Somarasa. In Ayahapana, the agents of Yamaraja stand on their chest and pour hot melted iron into their mouths. So I seek the blessings of all the Vaishnavas. So it's a very great exalted topic, and of course the title of the chapter is the hellish planets. Nevertheless, in this verse particularly Srila Prabhupada is emphasizing neither of the any hellish planet, but is giving a vital point that is there in the purport. One should not be a Brahmana in the name only, like a caste Brahmanas or any other. As actually Srila Prabhupada in ISKCON, when he established ISKCON, actually he wants to make everyone as a Brahmanas, because the Brahmanas are the heads of the society. If the head is working, rest everything actually engages in proper service. We know there is a common chastisement in any language, any caste, creed or any place. दिमाग खराब हो गया क्या आपका? दिमाग काम नहीं कर रहे क्या? So nobody will chastise या हाथ काम नहीं कर रहे क्या, या आपका पैर काम नहीं कर रहे क्या, या आपका मुंह काम नहीं कर रहे क्या? No. They say दिमाग काम नहीं कर रहे क्या? So that is there is this bring this head. So Brahmanas are the heads of the society. So Prabhupada wanted to make the Brahmanas. So Prabhupada is mentioning this purport without touching any of that. So he's main emphasizing, because in the translation it is there the Brahmanas or the Brahmana's wife who drinks liquor is taken by the agents of Yamaduta. So Prabhupada is focusing on, especially he's highlighting for us to the qualities one has to follow. Not only the Brahmanas, remaining Varnas like the high caste like Brahmana, Kshatriya and Vaishya. So these three are the main prominent people, because Shudras always depending on the others and they serve about the three people like Brahmana and Vaishya and Shudra. Sorry, Kshatriya and Vaishyas. So if a person who is there in the high caliber like a Brahmana, Kshatriya and Vaishya, if he's coming to the lower position like a maid, like a servant, so then obviously it is very, very bad situation. So Prabhupada is mentioning that please don't be the namesake as a Brahmana. And of course further continuation of don't be like a namesake of Kshatriya, namesake of Vaishya also. So what is the meaning of a Brahmana, Vaishya and Kshatriya? Just we will see here. So we know in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, in 18.41 the question comes. So how these people works? So the question raises that what is the Brahmana qualities and who is a Brahmana and who is a Kshatriya in 43rd verse described. And further in 44th verse described about who is a Vaishya and who is a Shudra. Actually the life of a Brahmana is having the foremost qualities. It's a Brahmanical culture. Does it meaning of only one person is a Brahmanical nature? Any ashram person can imbibe this mode of a Brahmanical culture. This Brahmanical culture can be taken by all four ashramas. This is Varna, and this Varna can be taken inspiration from all four Varnas. So first and foremost thing is a Brahmanical culture, the Brahmana should have. And second thing is Brahmanas means who knows the spiritual values and who know how to live a spiritual life. And because this is Brahmana, as we just now discussed, beginning with, they are the head of the society. So to continue and to lead the whole society, they have to have know the life, and at the same time they have to live accordingly and they have to lead the whole. As we know that Bhagavad Gita is these 2 points, how to live a lifestyle and how to lead. So this is the one of the greatest quality of a Brahmana, and such a Brahmanical culture. And also Brahmana means how to conduct one's own character. That's what again. Being for the sake of a Brahmana, one should not be act. Prabhupada is mentioning here. What is the meaning of namesake? Because he's having a qualities. Now we will see in the 18.42 of Bhagavad Gita what Prabhupada is describing, what Krishna is expecting. And he's drinking the liquor. That is meant for, of course it's there, it is meant for the Shudras. They can drink it. But not a Brahmana, he's the head of the society. If you, the Hare Krishna. Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra ki jai, Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra ki jai, Shri Shri Gaunitai ki jai. So you being the head means you are the leader. Again Krishna said to the Arjuna what? Whatever the leader follows, the follower follows. So even this Brahmana is the head of the society and you are the head. If you are following to drinking the liquor, then obviously the rest of the people like even Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudras. Of course it is meant for the Shudra, that's labor, because they do the labor work for everyone, sincerely serving. So it's meant for that. But if you are doing it, then you are misrepresenting your character and your conduct. And also he had a very, very great qualifications. According to Sanat Sujata and Mahabharata, and even in this Bhagavad Gita, we know that a Brahmana should have a 12 qualities. In Bhagavad Gita, it is described that 9 qualities, and from other scriptures like Mahabharata, as I said, because Prahlad Maharaj in 9th chapter of the 7th canto, he describes about the same thing. The Brahmana should have these 12 qualities. Unless until one should have these 12 qualities, then he is no more a Brahmana. Does it mean that to acquire those qualities is a Brahmana? No. These qualities help a Brahmana of this Varna and any ashramas of these 4 Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha and Sannyasa to become a devotee. Then Prahlad Maharaj further describes, even after acquiring these 12 qualities of a Brahmana, if a person is not a devotee of Lord Vishnu, what he compared with? Of course, those qualities are a decoration of a Brahmana. If a person is not acting like, he is lesser than a Shudra. Not even Shudra, is a Chandala. Chandala means a dog eater. Shudra never eats like such kind of very even nasty, lesser than that. Just like we can say consider like a 5th order. So, Prahlad Maharaj described like this. So, our whole goal is not also just to acquire the qualities. Because once we acquire the qualities, what happens? Dambam Mahatupasayat. Then we will get pride. I'm very grateful to His Grace Santadev Prabhu. Yesterday, there is a different paradigm which I was thinking about. The line of the letter which Prabhuji wrote, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj given the offerings to Srila Prabhupada in 1991. Kali never enters inside because in ISKCON there is nothing, because we are worshipping Krishna. Then how the Kali enters inside? There is no choice to enter inside. Then how it enters and how it entered? Prabhupada mentioned that it is from within. So there is a statement within. What is the greatness of Srila Prabhupada? I can also do such great miracles. So this is called Dhambam. That's how the Kali enters inside. It is not just because of other devotees giving trouble to me, or I am facing the trouble just because of other devotees not listening to my words. So now Kali has entered. He is not practicing sincerely. That is not. This is my understanding. So that's what just I wanted to express, Prabhuji. So this is within, means even one's own self also. Dhambam. So here also, once we acquire these 12 qualities of a Brahmanical, then we will feel, I am so great. Then we'll started looking. He doesn't have this quality. He doesn't have this quality. He is failed in this exhibition and he is failed in that point. Then obviously we will follow that. That's why Prahlad Maharaj is saying that after acquiring all these things, this is Varnashrama, the system of Varna and Ashrama helps a person to elevate his consciousness from the materialistic consciousness to the spiritual realm. So acquiring these 12 qualities is not itself is a goal of our life. No. With all these qualities, we have to engage. Hrishikena sevana bhaktir uchyate. So we have to engage everything in the service of Krishna. Then Prahlad Maharaj says, even a Chandala, the dog eater, without acquiring these all qualities, if he engages in the service of Lord Sri Krishna, Lord Vishnu directly, is far more better than a Brahmana who acquired these 12 qualities as per the description in the scriptures. So vice versa, both. We should acquire at the same time, we have to engage those things in the service of Krishna. So that's how this Varnashrama helps us to go ahead in our spiritual advancement. Otherwise, it ruins our consciousness. As Prahlad Maharaj described, lesser than a Chandala. Then what is the use of acquiring the so much qualities? But after acquiring that, we have to engage in the service of Lord Krishna. When we are engaging, when we don't acquire the Dhambam, yes, obviously, whenever we are doing such kind of services, we will remind of ourselves. Am I doing the service for the pleasure of Krishna, or am I doing it for my own sense gratification? Krishna Anushilanam Bhaktir Uttama. So Bhakti is very Uttam Bhakti will happen. One do the services as per Krishna's pleasure. And the services which is pleases to Krishna, that is Uttama Bhakti. Then obviously when a Brahmana is, or else is drinking a liquor, it's not pleasing to Krishna. So after acquiring the qualities or without acquiring qualities, when we are able to see this understanding that whether the service is going to please Krishna or not, then we are in the category of a devotee. And further we have to become like a Uttama Bhakta, pure devotee. Anya Abhilashita Shunyam Jnana Karma Adi Anavrutam. Then we will cross beyond that Jnana and Karma. Then we will come to the devotional level. Otherwise, yes, devotee means, even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, even a person who reminds us Krishna, chants Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Even at once, it's a devotee, then you have to respect. Not only just even chanting, even not chanting also one has to respect, because he is the representative of Krishna. And even not only the human beings, even any living being one has to respect. Then obviously, these are all things comes. So we have to do, after acquiring the qualities, we have to engage everything in the service of Krishna. Otherwise, those qualities only will make us to fall prey to materialistic life and will doom in our devotional life. So what exactly Brahmana does is only these two things. Brahmana just work for cultivating these qualities and teach others and how to engage these qualities in the service of Krishna. pleasing Krishna. Krishna Anushilanam. Do such activities which pleases Krishna. Also Prabhupada writes is not only just like a Brahmana, one has to, Kshatriya also has to follow his own principles, and Vaishya also, one has to follow his designated qualities. So we will see what exactly those designated qualities for a Brahmana, Vaishya and Shudra. So Srimad Bhagavad Gita 18.42, which describes about the Brahmanical qualities. Samodhamasapasaucham kshanti rajavamevacha jnana vijnanamastikhyam brahma karma svabhavajam. So this is the svabhavaja, means the nature, the psychophysical nature of the Brahmana is what? Sama, peacefulness. Damaha, self-control. Tapaha, austerity. Saucham, purity, means cleanliness. Kshanti, tolerance. Archavam, honesty. And also Jnanam, means knowledge. Vijnanam means realized knowledge. It's a great wisdom. And also Astikyam. So is the religion, one has to follow this. So he's the qualities of the Brahmana. So he works for this, acquiring these qualities, and also he teaches the other people how to imbibe these qualities and work for these qualities. And also Kshatriya also has to follow his own prescribed qualities, as Prabhupada said in today's text. So what are the Kshatriya qualities? 18.43 speaks about Shauryam tejo dhritir daksham yuddhe chapya apalayanam dhanam aishwarya bhavascha kshatram karma svabhavajam. So these are the qualities of the Kshatriya. Of course, in this mentioned dhanam, he has to do the charity. But at the same time, after proclaiming of all these qualities, just now we mentioned, we will get dhambam. But here it is mentioned Ishvara Bhava. What is the meaning of Ishvara Bhava? Yeah. So, but Prabhupada is mentioning the word meaning of Ishvara Bhava is leadership nature. So, it's not just like, yes, now I have the qualities, let me control all these people, those who are under me. No. Brahmana's two qualities are cultivate, teaching. So, Kshatriya also, this Ishvara Bhava doesn't mean the leadership nature. So, he also has to rule the kingdom or manage the people under him in that line to take shelter of Krishna. As we know that the fourth canto, it describes about Prithu Maharaj section. It describes about what is the qualities of a kingdom, as a king in the kingdom. The administration, for example, not only just king in the kingdom. Nowadays there is no king, there is no kingdom except Jagannath Puri and Arab countries. That is also Arab countries, there is a so-called kingdom and kings. But especially there is nothing. Then it comes under the administration. What are those? The administrator has to see the citizens or the people under him, like a spiritual master sees the disciples who are under him to take the shelter of the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, Sri Krishna, in the line of disciplic succession. So that is the administration's first and foremost rule, and the first and foremost rule of a king in the kingdom. So that is called as the leadership quality. That is Ishvara Bhava. Yes, Ishvara Bhava should be there as a controllership, but controlling that not to go out of the spiritual zone, not to fall prey to the material things and waste his human form of life. So that's why the Kshatriya has to have this Ishvara Bhava of leadership nature to learn, imbibe these qualities. Further, Vaishya, what is having the qualities? Even Shudra also has the qualities, okay? He is not just like a very useless fellow. No, Shudra is also having qualities. Even to be a Shudra also, one should have a quality. That's how this Chandala doesn't have any qualities, because he eats dogs. What is Vaishya quality? Krishi Goraksha Vanijam. The farming, cow protection and business. It is the nature of Vaishya. Then Shudra? Paricharyatmakam karma Shudrasyapi svabhavacham. Paricharya means labor work, serving the higher orders, everyone. So he serves, he listens to them because they give. But at the same time, he's having tendency of drinking, eating meat and liquor. And you go and do those things. That's how he's given that qualities. Okay, he's not assigned their services. But whereas at the same time for Shudra, how it has been described, what should be done, what not should be done. For Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya also has given these qualities. So Prabhupada is strictly mentioning about, please not to be a Brahmana for the namesake only. So one has to imbibe these qualities. Further, just I was reading in some of the purpose of Srila Prabhupada in the same line of Prahlad Maharaj section, which we described about that. Prabhupada writes that even in ISKCON also, we are not there for the sake of being a ISKCON devotee. What does it meaning of being an ISKCON devotee? Okay, I also have dress code, tilak, kanti, everything. I am a devotee right now. Again, this is called as a namesake of a Brahmana, so namesake of a devotee. Every devotee who proclaims to be a great Vaishnava must carefully guard against all these 10 offenses while chanting the holy name of the Lord. This is only every day. Without any fail, we always remember this statement. So really we are becoming an ISKCON devotee means we have to follow these first 10 principles. And apart from that, one has to be initiated, means he has to follow 4 regulative principles. At least an initiated devotee, not just a well-wisher of a devotee, but at least initiated devotee has to follow the 4 regulative principles and cultivate how to avoid these 10 offenses of the chanting of the holy name and not committing offense to a Vaishnava as not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dictated. Do these 2 things. Chant the holy name. Do not commit any offense to a Vaishnava. You will go back home, back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. So there is further which I planned for discussion, but I think today is a great day. Again, our Gopal Bhatt Goswami's disappearance day. So we will discuss about that also. Some of the description about the Gopal Bhatt Goswami. So before going to that, the moral of this story, I will explain. Story in the sense, the moral of what I have discussed till so far about this Brahmana, Vaishya, Kshatriya and Shudra. To develop such qualities. And we discussed about how we develop just only being satisfied with that. We will develop a dhambam. That's how we will develop a dhambam and we will go fall down in our spiritual position. But how not to fall down that? So there is a beautiful example which I come across with when I was hearing some lectures. So we will learn a lesson from out of it and we'll compare to that. How we become, if satisfied with those qualities. They are good qualities, right? Samo, Dhammas, Saucham, Shanti, cleanliness, and then everything. Very beautiful, wonderful qualities. Nobody is acquired in this material world except this Brahmana and the devotees. It's good enough. I'm having all these good qualities. I'm happy. What happens in this lesson? A lesson learned from a thief. A lesson learned from a thief. Prabhu, what is this? We are devotees. Learning a lesson from a thief? I think this is not a scriptural reference. Sorry, it's not a scriptural reference, but learning a lesson from a thief. So what are the lessons we can learn from a thief? So whenever a person, or the thief, before going to do a robbery, what he does? 3 things. First, yes, he plan how to approach this bank or this particular house. So similarly, a devotee has to plan how to acquire the spiritual qualities. So he does the same thing. So then he will, according to psychophysical nature, he exhibits. Then the psychophysical nature, if he's a Brahmana, then he has to imbibe the mode of a Brahmanical. Kshatriya qualities already described by Srila Prabhupada and Lord Krishna told in 18.43. Vaishya, then same, and Shudra. So anybody in this Varna, they have to imbibe this mode and they have to cultivate this. And second, after planning, action plan. How to. Not only just this house, how to go there and how to open the lock and how to remove it. While removing, nobody should see. No CC camera should caught me. That everything planned, pre-planned. So similarly, we being a Vaishnavas, to learn a lesson from this, we have to also plan how to acquire, how to not offense also. Just I have these qualities, then other devotees doesn't have. We should not see that. That means we don't have the qualities, first of all. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains that I am seeing the faults. I am having the honeycomb of the faults in me just because I am seeing the others because this honeycomb of faults are there within me. Of course, he's exemplified Acharya, so he's teaching us. When we are pointing out other person, that means still we have to work upon internally. So that's the reason we should not be satisfied. After planning, the thief goes inside to the house or the bank. He will rob everything. Executed everything. Nicely he acquired full wealth, entire syndicate bank. No problem. All our wealthiest people in the entire world, especially in India, everybody's stock is there in that bank. For example, he got everything. That is sufficient? What is more important thing? Exactly. Actually, this he has to, he planned this is first. How to get out of from this entanglement. He doesn't plan first these two things. Even though he plans for that, in his mind, the first execution part is this. Even though I am not getting anything, ठीक है, आज कुछ नहीं मिला, कल तो कुछ मिलेगा ना. If I rescued myself, then tomorrow I will get some more robbery and I will get more accumulate wealth. If today I caught up, that's the end of my story. Am I right or wrong? So that's how the thief plans. First thing is how to get out of from this. So a devotee also has to plan for how to get out of from this entanglement of material nature. I'm not describing about only a grihastha who is having the entanglement because he's accumulated wealth. Only wealth can be accumulated by only one person in one ashrama. That is grihastha, to maintain his life. That is varnashrama system. Neither brahmachari is completely depending. Brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, depending on the Lord. Completely renounced his life. More than that, renounced his sannyasi is socially dead. He doesn't have anything to accumulate and keep it storage. So this is one of the quality of again the brahmana and the brahmacharis especially. We should not accumulate any wealth. So only grihasthas. So not only for that, even brahmachari, grihastha, vanaprastha, sannyasi, even the varnas which we are acquiring, that brahma, kshatriya, vaishya, shudra, we have to get out of from that. Means we have to engage whatever we have in the service of the Supreme Personality of a Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. Whatever we accumulated, the brahmana, he accumulated so much wealth. Then what happens? Dambam. I have great knowledge, everything with me. Whatever you ask, I will explain. That's what happened. With Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also removed the dambam of those who are having in his lineage. So he derived everything. So even the Brahmana qualities also, what we are supposed to do, we have to engage. That is called as charity. We also have a capability of charity. That knowledge has to be distributed to the needy people, those who doesn't have that knowledge. So in that way, when we are also doing the charity and trying to escape from out of this, then we will be safe and go back to Godhead. We will eligible for go back to Godhead. Otherwise, with this materialistic plan and everything, action plan and an approaching how to be everything, we will caught up. Punarape mannam, punarape jananam, janare jatare shayanam, iti samsare bahudukkare pahima. So then we will be repeated birth and death cycle. We will just roam here and there, birth and death. So choose very good choice. Again and again the same thing. Last time also I explained. The best letter is C. Before death, after your birth, the capital letter is that C. Take a choice of the chanting of Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Choice of the chanting the holy name of the God and make your life perfect and go back to Godhead. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami, his lifestyle is, he took birth in the 1503 and 1578. This period have done a lot of services rendered for the pleasure of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we know that Gopal Bhatta Goswami told to Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami that please I will describe everything about the pastimes what I know, because 4 months Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exclusively spent his time in South India, in particularly in the house of Venkata Bhatta, the father of Gopal Bhatta Goswami. And also Venkata Bhatta had 2 brothers, Prabodhananda Saraswati and Tirumalla Bhatta. So later, Prabhupada Saraswati Maharaj, so Gopal Bhatta Goswami accepted him as his spiritual master, and he learned everything scholarship from Prabhupada Saraswati. And that's how once he completed that knowledge, he went to Vrindavan on the order of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. During his stay in Ranganath temple, Sri Rangam, he given him the instruction, go to Vrindavan and meet with Rupa and Sanatan Goswami and learn everything and describe all devotional service, and with your disciples teach the whole world. So this is the instruction which he received. So I will tell everything about the story of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but please don't describe my name in Chaitanya Charitamrita. So that is out of his humility, Gopal Bhatta Goswami exhibiting this very great humility quality in his life, and is teaching us. So, but anyway, one or twice the name of Gopal Bhatta Goswami describes in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, but nevertheless he never explains about Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So in 1510, after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyasa, so during the summer season, he traveled to South India. So that's what it is described. But how we can say that summer, how this time comes? So means after the summer, then the monsoon season comes up. The monsoon season begins, then Ashadhe. So then it starts with Chaturmas. He stopped there. So it's Sri Ranga Kshetra is very huge in entire pilgrimage places, all over the place, whatever is existing. So Sri Rangam is a very great place, and also it's very huge place also. So during that time, visiting the Ranganath temple, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu met with Venkata Bhatta, and he had a conversation with him, and that we know the pastime from Chaitanya Charitamrita, that description between, because Venkata Bhatta is in the line of Sri Sampradaya, which is one of the 4 bona fide sampradayas. Even Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted him as he is. So he was very pleasant defeat with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that how Lakshmi is running behind Krishna, so she is unchaste. So then he understood the essence of that, and he submitted to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but nevertheless he followed Sri Sampradaya very chastely. So but Venkata Bhatta brought Gopal Bhatta Goswami, and he told, serve this sannyasi. So he's Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami has developed very deep desire to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, served throughout his life. So after serving him, and after the 4th month of Chaturmas, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started leaving. So the entire family of Venkata Bhatta started feeling separation and shedding tears. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially for the sake of Gopal Bhatta Goswami, he stayed 4 more days. Few more days he stayed within their family. And during that time, Gopal Bhatta Goswami had a great dream. In his dream, he saw Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the form of Lord Sri Krishna. It's a 2-handed, playing the flute. So he understood he is Lord Sri Krishna and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the next day after the dream got over, he comes to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but along with that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave a very special instruction, very inspiration for him. You have to go to Vrindavan once you completed your family responsibilities. Family responsibilities means till the time of your father and mother are there here in this planet, you serve them, learn everything from your master, and once they leave this planet and go back to Godhead, you also leave and go to Vrindavan, meet Rupa and Raghunath, Sanatan Goswami, and learn everything from them. I gave my means like I gave my mentality, means I gave everything what is my heart to Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. Learn from them, and you write scriptures, literatures through your disciples. Please teach everyone. That's how Gopal Bhatta Goswami for the whole community has described about Shatkriya Sara Deepika. Especially this is meant for the Grihastha life. From all the 10 to 14 samskaras, how to do, how to cultivate that. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami very vividly explained in the Kshatriya Sara Deepika. And also some people says that Hari Bhakti Vilasa written by Sanatan Goswami, but again, he translated that under the Sanatan Goswami, and for the pleasure of Sanatan Goswami, Hari Bhakti Vilas, and there are so many literatures Gopal Bhatta Goswami wrote. So as per the instructions of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he served his parents, mother and father, and he learned great literature, Sanskrit grammar, and in everything from Prabodhananda Saraswati, who is his uncle. And once the parents went to the spiritual world, he also traveled to Vrindavan. And in Vrindavan, Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami received him. And during this time, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was staying in Puri, so he had to anxious whether Gopal Bhatt Goswami reached or arrived Vrindavan or not. He sent a message from Jagannath Puri to Vrindavan. And by that time in Vrindavan, one messenger came from Rupa Goswami simultaneously. So Rupa Goswami wrote everything. Yes, my lord, Gopal Bhatt Goswami had arrived Vrindavan. We received him, welcomed him into our entourage and accepted him as our own elder brother, younger brother. And all great acharyas and everybody were there at that time. So we all received him properly. And he is also imbibing the mood of Vaishnavas. And he's becoming he's imbibed all the qualities of a Vaishnava. And he's becoming obedient servant. In that way, he is explaining about Gopal Bhatt Goswami to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also pleased to hear that all information and that Gopal Bhatt Goswami arrived Vrindavan. He sent a reverse message to Rupa Goswami by sending a person. During this time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave one lion cloth, and the second one is he given one brick where he used to sit personally. So the Tadiya of the Lordship is to be worshipped as the ornaments of the Lord has to be worshipped as good as the Lord, because that's how the Vaishnavas used to do. So Gopal Bhatt Goswami took these two Tadiya of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the place where he used to sit, and another one is the lion cloth. And all the devotees felt so happy. He came just now and he got the special blessings of Lord Chaitanya. 4 months he stayed with him. He gave so much time. Neither Rupa Goswami nor Sanatana Goswami received such an exalted time. And apart from that, Gopal Bhatt Goswami received these two personal Tadiya of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They felt jubilant and they are so happy. This is what experiencing the happiness of others, Vaishnava. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also teaching from this. So we know time is going up. So in this way, Gopal Bhatt Goswami received so many blessings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And during that time, we know the pastime of Radha Raman Dev. So the Radha Raman actually, so he started worshipping in 1542, so he started worshipping after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu disappeared from this world and completed his pastimes in this mortal world. After the 8 years, but Gopal Bhatt Goswami also decided to worship the deities like Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. With this, just I will conclude this. So then he also started. Then he went to Gandaki River, which is in Nepal. So he brought 12 Shaligram Shilas. So he brought the Shaligram Shila and it arrived back. It is not like today's going to the flight or journey through moderate facilities. No, he went by walk and again he came back. He arrived Vrindavan and he started worshipping. The moment when he started worshipping, he feel that he is unqualified to worship the Shilas. Then what he did? Again he went back to Gandaki River to Nepal, and with great pleasure and with respect, with mantrocharana, with prayerful mood, he started again putting them back into the Gandaki River. As soon as he started putting this 12 Shaligram Shila into the river back, spontaneously all these 12 Shaligram Shilas again jumped into his basket. Then again he opened. How come my basket is becoming so heavy? So then again he requests them, the Lord, please, I'm so disqualified. Again he put them into the river. Like this, thrice and 4 times it so happened. Then Gopal Bhatt Goswami understood the instructions of the Supreme Personality of the Godhead that I should worship these Shaligram Shilas. So then he took those 12 Shaligram Shilas with him with great respect, kept under their chest when he's having very bag and wrapped around his neck. He arrived again Vrindavan, he started worshipping. And during that time, one great wealthy person, of course, he started worshipping and everything. After some time, and there is a wealthy man, he came to Vrindavan. He gave the jewelry to Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami to worship his deities. Because they have the murtis like Radha Vrindavan Chandra. So beautifully they also started decorating. So he thought of, he donated them on the Janmashtami, like how we are also doing this Janmashtami fundraising for the pleasure of Radha Vrindavan Chandra to all services. So this donor has come spontaneously and he gave. And he approached Gopal Bhatt Goswami also. But Gopal Bhatt Goswami, by that time, he doesn't have any deities like this Krishna. He's having the Shaligram Shilas. And one of the biggest Shaligram Shila of the 12 Shaligram Shila is Damodar Shila. So during the time of Narsimha Chaturdashi, so he prayed, "Oh my Lord, for the pleasure of to protect your devotee Prahlad Maharaj, you appeared from this pillar. I think you can also appear from this Shaligram Shila." So he just deeply with his love and devotion, he prayed to the Shaligram Shilas. And that day, he took rest because the day has passed. And the next day, to worship the deities, he went back. We know the pastime that how the deity has appeared. Because this donor gifted him and he was thinking, I don't have the shape like how Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami is having, and he can very nicely decorate the jewels on the Lord's transcendental body. How can I able to serve this Shaligram Shila? There doesn't have any shape, only one shape is round. So then he requested the Lordship, please appear from this Shila, your Trivanga farm. So the next day when he went to take bath in the Yamuna, came back, again he started worshipping and he opened his Jola and he saw its little big size Shaligram Shila is coming, the same Shaligram Shila only, something different shape is appearing. As soon as he opened and he saw, it is the Murti of Krishna. Then immediately informed to Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, all the Goswamis, they came. And because actually it happened just next to the, right now what we see in the Vrindavan, it's in a different location. But exact location of Gopal Bhatta Goswami's appeared as per the scriptures is that just next to the Nidhivan. So it's a pastime why the deity appeared like that. And the name, the title is Radha Raman, the one who gives the pleasure to Srimati Radharani. Though there is no Radharani in that Shila, Krishna appeared in the form of a Radha Raman. The name given to them is Radha Raman. So just because of that, because he wants to give the pleasure to Radharani. So that's why even nowadays we can see, henceforth they kept Srimati Radharani onto Krishna's left hand side on the corner. There is a huge thing, and on the top of that they kept one crown. So that is called as a symbolical representation, and that is actual Srimati Radharani. They worship Radha and Raman. So that's how they used to, and the one who is giving the pleasure to Srimati Radharani. So in that way, Gopal Bhatta Goswami's devotion, the purity of his love for Lord Shri Krishna, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So over a period of time, here also one pastime happened. Radha Raman Dev, when he is worshipping, he gave a vow, again to word, into this verse today. Prabhupada is saying the one who took the vow, he should not violate that and drinking the liquor, and he is going to this hellish planet. So Gopal Bhatta Goswami also took a vow. He gave the commitment to his father. Yes, I will serve Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu throughout my life. But whom I am worshipping right now? Who is Radharaman? Krishna. But you told me to worship, and I gave you commitment that I will worship Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is already disappeared from this mortal world. So how I am serving? So then he deeply prayed to Radharaman. He's deeply prayed, "Oh Lord, I have committed and I took a vow in front of my father, and I give a words to my father that I will worship Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And I'm in so separation." So with his love and feeling of that great separation from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he's very intensely prayed to Radharaman. From the Shaligram Shila, Damodar Shaligram Shila, he prayed. Lord Krishna appeared in the form of a Radha Raman Dev. And from Radha Raman, instantly, he transformed into Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then he got so jubilant. And he felt so happy. And then after that, again, according to his instructions, so Lord Krishna, Radha Raman, and Lord Sri Chaitanya. So there is none different. And again, he started worshipping Radha Raman in the mode of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he's having two disciples. And one of them is like a Govinda. So he told to Govind, Because Gopal Bhatta Goswami doesn't have any lineage. He doesn't have any family because he's a Goswami. So this worship has to go on down to the line. So he requested one of the disciples, his youngest brother, the Gopinathji. So you request him to get married and start progeny, and they will start worshipping of Radha Raman. So henceforth, that same lineage is worshipping Radha Raman Dev according to the standards set by Sri Gopal Bhatta Goswami. So that's how even in our ISKCON also Srila Prabhupada told anybody in this in our temples to learn the deity worship, so kindly refer to Radha Raman temple, deity worship standards. So you can able to derive the inspiration from that. So that is the greatest asset which Gopal Bhatta Goswami set aside for us. So in this way we can able to imbibe this mode, and we pray on this auspicious day of Gopal Bhatta Goswami's disappearance day in the separation. We will also pray to Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Sudarshan, and Shri Shri Gaur Nitai to give us such a kind of loving devotional mood to serve our spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada, the founder Acharya of ISKCON, the preeminent Siksha Guru and Jagat Guru of the entire universe. So we also seek the blessings of Prabhupada and the Lordships. So imbibe this mood and also not be a ISKCON follower or ISKCON devotee just for the namesake. We, according to Srila Prabhupada described in this today's verse, we will also aspire to imbibe that mood and cultivate and teach the others in our preaching moment, and we'll also complete these pastimes and go back to Godhead. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Gopal Bhatta Goswami ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.